Hey, this is Esplin227. This is a response to Losoyo. You asked a lot of great questions in this video, and you pointed out a few things that um, uh, showed me that I need to clarify because I think it came off wrong. The thing you gotta realize about the whole condescending thing that you said I was doing, um, I had I had been accused of calling Rational Roundtable a liar, and it had gone back and forth so much that I was literally pulling my hair out. So what seems like condescension is like white hot rage because I was really mad at that point. Let me explain. I don't feel above the whole when I said that's a Christian concept. What I was trying to say was that came from the whole Ray Comfort thing where they say, have you ever lied? Well, you're a liar. Um, I'm not condescending, but that infuriates me because it plays on every human being's insecurity. Um, I don't think most Christians feel that way. In fact, it came off that way because I kept mentioning that, but that was because I was trying to get across that I was not calling Rational Roundtable a liar. Um, their response to that over and over and over again was, you said he lied, therefore you called him a liar. What I was trying to say was, that's a non sequitur for me because that's not what I consider a liar. I do not consider someone who lies once a liar. Um, so to answer your first question, no, I wasn't trying to be condescending, and I most certainly don't think I'm above it. I was Christian for a while. I wanted to be a Christian anthropologist, and I believe that got me too. And it's one of the hardest. The biggest problem with that argument that infuriates me is it's one of those Christian arguments where it's easy to say, and while it's so blatantly wrong, it's very hard to refute because you have to. They can say it really quick, and then to explain why they're wrong, you have to have a very long time to respond. Wow. How did you get all your stuff down in like 6 minutes? That's crazy. All right, I'm gonna speed it up. The second thing is, you talked about the whole murderer thing. That's actually a great point. I never thought about that. Um, what I was referring to about it not making you a liar is that is not what we colloquially mean when we talk about calling someone a liar. If you use the dictionary definition, we're all liars. Now, does that mean that we're not all liars? Well, no. Based on those definitions, you're absolutely right. I am 100% in agreement with you. If we're defining liar as just one who lies, again, I'm totally with you there. But typically, when you're calling someone a liar, which is what they were saying I was doing, they were saying I was calling him a liar. Um, I've never heard anyone in an argument say, "You're a liar," and the other person says, "No, I'm not," and then he says, "Well, yes, you are. You've lied once. Everyone lies once, and you'll lie again." Now, well, that's typically not what you mean when you're calling someone a liar. Typically, what you mean when you're calling someone a liar is you're a person who lies a lot and for selfish reasons, and you don't care who you hurt. Well, I don't know. You know what I mean when I say a liar. I mean, when I say the word liar, you intuitively have a concept of what I'm talking about. Um, you know the. Also, I know you. I know most Christians don't like Ray Comfort. I absolutely know that. What I was trying to say was, um, that would be the prevalent Protestant fundamentalist idea of what a liar is, or the archaic technical definition of what a liar is. I kept saying the Christian one rather than the technical definition because I was arguing with Christians. It just seemed appropriate. Um, but I should have said that too. That is also the technical definition. I was going by the colloquial term, uh, only because the word literally is almost never used in the other way. It just isn't, as far as I'm aware. And technically, by those terms, I guess I was calling him a liar by those standards, but I was not trying to call him that. Um, Only by that sort of absolutist sense, you know. Basically, that's what it comes down to. That's not how I meant it. I meant it in the other way, and I wasn't saying that all Christians agree with the way of the master thing. Yeah, I was in the middle of a very long, very messy argument, and my most important point was getting it clear that I was not calling him a liar. That's what I cared about most in that argument. Um, Now on to your next point about what if someone murders once, does that make them a murderer? If someone uh I'm not going to say it's different because it isn't. I'd say it depends on the definitions you're using at the time. If you're using the same definition for murder that you used as the technical definition of liar, you're right. Murder once and you're a murderer for the rest of your life. Um, Again, if we're going to be nuanced like we are when we colloquially use the term for liar, then I don't think that's the case. I think, let's say you're arguing with someone, you're two businessmen, and he just tells you that he's ruined everything for you. He did it on purpose, and there's nothing you can do about it. You've had a long rivalry, and this is the last straw. You snap, you shoot him, um, and then you turn yourself in. You spend 20 years in jail, 5 years in counseling. You come out a better person. You really lost your mind for a little while. Would you still call that person a murderer after he's paid his debts to society? Personally, I wouldn't still call him a murderer. Now, on the technical sense, yes, he is a murderer, but in the nuanced sense, he's not the same as someone who's going from town to town murdering people. It's just not typically what we call a murderer. Um, you get what I'm saying? It's just it's complicated. I guess is my response to what you're saying, and you're absolutely right in the technical sense. I really have no defense. I have no desire to argue with that. I actually agree with you in the technical sense. Your second point was about the fact that lying existed before Christianity. Again, the three video the that section was a short specific drama about three things: me defending myself, saying that I wasn't calling Rational Roundtable a liar, me talking about intellectual dishonesty and admitting that I didn't clarify um, what I meant by that and perhaps painted with too broad a brush, and me justifying my statement of the domain of reality or domain of rationality, which my last few videos covered that in a much calmer way. Um, I wasn't going any deeper than that, but you're right. Lying, religions, in fact, the three big ones: um, murder, rape, and stealing are go back to the beginning of mankind. That's because we see that in apes, uh, even non-simian apes, and then lying and stealing, or lying and adultery, we see in all human society. So you're absolutely right. I wasn't suggesting that Christians came up with the concept of it not being okay to lie. I was more talking about the whole liar lying thing. It has to do with like salvation and original sin. We're all destined to lie, therefore we're all liars. Again, technically true, but a incredibly insidious and deceptive thing to use to convert people. Um, I hate comfort. I hate not being comforted. Ray comfort. Oh, I despise that man. Mainly because of that argument. That's the biggest reason why I despise him. The Dawkins thing. Now, it would require me to watch all my videos, and it takes me a very long time to make a point. So that would be a very long time for me to find that. But more I cannot state any more clearly that not only do I not hate Dawkins, I think he's brilliant. I have read almost all of his literature. Um, and forget the religion stuff. I've read those too, but I'm talking about simply as an evolutionary biologist. I think he's one of the most brilliant evolutionary biologists, and his book, The Selfish Gene, has literally changed how we feel about selection. And it's shown the quantum physics of biology, we'll say. How quantum physics, it might not be useful to talk about physics in terms of quantum physics because it's so fundamental, you can't really, well, I think Dawkins found the most fundamental unit of natural selection in animals on Earth, in its genes. It's the selfish gene or the immortal gene, which is what he wanted to call it, and he wished he had because people strawman the crap out of him. I think Dawkins is the most strawmanned anti-religious figure on Earth. No one comes close to how often strawmanned he is by both atheists, Christians, and every other religious group. It is shameful. Um, um, Most atheists haven't read most of Dawkins' literature. Um, I can't make that statement, but the way they strawman Dawkins, from an evolutionary standpoint, they strawman. They say he's obsessed with genes. No, he's saying genes are the most fundamental unit of selection, and group selection isn't real in the literal sense. He's saying that we should only use it as a theoretical model, the way we do statistics and demographics. A lot of scientists don't like that. Um, uh, his well, for instance, these are the books of his I've read: The Selfish Gene, The Blind Watchmaker, River Out of Eden, um, Climbing Mount Improbable, The God Delusion, and The Greatest Show on Earth. Also, An Ancestor's Tale. Um, I'm currently reading the Extended Phenotype, um, which is the most complicated but the most complete um, book he's made. Most completely, well, you get what I'm saying. Um, I still need to read Unweaving the Rainbow and A Devil's Chaplain. But yeah, I've read almost all of Dawkins' literature. I would never say that Dawkins is an idiot. Perhaps maybe got something I said mixed up, which is possible. I ranted a lot. Um, I've also read all of Hitchens' books uh, and Sam Harris. Sam Harris is another one that atheists more than Christians just love the straw man like hell. I'm actually going to make a video about this. I was going to make that soon about begging atheists, please read these people's books before you just go with the flow and straw man these people. I'm not saying you did it, but you reminded me of this, of the video I was going to make. So yeah, I absolutely don't think Dawkins is an idiot, and I like him too. I think he got a bad rap and he's misrepresented, really. Uh, so yeah, I hope those answered the questions. I can't remember what the other questions were, though. That information seems fascinating. I'm gonna read the link you mentioned. If there's anything I left out, please tell me and I'll answer it either in comment if it's just like one point or in a video if you think I should. Sorry this video ran long. I promise this is the last unscripted video I'm going to do. I'm going to get bullet points next time. It's just the way I speak takes a long time to make a point. I'm sorry. Until my next video, try to make the world a better place. And I will too.